Yo, hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going to those of you who are here early? Din Ted Mercenary, what's going on? You got here on time. Yes, very much so. All right. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah. There we go. Now you can probably hear me better. I don't know why. It's always weird. It always defaults to the wrong microphone. But yeah, should be good, right? You guys can hear me well. Everything sounds okay. The audio, the music audio level is good. Not too loud, not too soft. What up? Hey yo, JH. What's going on? Roland and John. What's going on, guys? Chris. Sebastian, nice. If you build it, they will come. Yes, exactly. Well, that's the idea, hopefully. Paul has been summoned. Yes, the Sentinel kit, right? Everybody loves Gundam Sentinel. A great series. And on that note, you guys letting me know that the audio sounds good. Okay, cool. Good. Cool. On that note, Bandai, please, when are we going to get a Nero kit? I don't care if it's HG, RE100. I kind of doubt it would be a master grade. If we got any kind of Nero, I'm guessing it would be an HUC kit. I would be totally fine with that. But an RE100 would be really nice. Just saying. An RE100 would be really nice to go with, some of the master grade kits that we have available. But all right. Let's get all of this good stuff out that we're gonna need for today, including some screws. So I have a small screwdriver on hand. Not sure if we'll need those or not. We'll find out. But got lots and lots of polycaps. Look at that polycap runner. It's massive. Let me just do some quick math on there. That's about 5 times 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, almost 100. Anyway, 70, 80-ish around there. Polycaps. I'm not going to use them all, but that's pretty crazy. Zeta Plus had a great 5 seconds in Unicorn. Yes, it did have that as well. Chris, good point. Can it capture a Pezun? Can it pay his debts? What? Oh. Is that a Nero reference? Nero SD. Nero and Nemo 3. Yes. Let's see. Good afternoon, Patrick. What's going on, man? All right. So, yeah, same style of kit as the Alex built a long time ago. I mean, yeah, it's got a fair amount of screws and stuff. Will be similar to the Alex. Look at the manual. Oh, right. Yes, here. Conquer a Pizun. Yes. Mass driver. Pay his debts. Oh, okay. Right. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Pay his debts. Right. Interesting. Good old Japan. Right. This was my second ever MG. Yeah, I've heard that from since posting that I was going to be doing this live build. I noticed quite a few people mentioned that they built this kit a long time ago, or it was one of their first MG kits or something along those lines. So it seems like one that a lot of you guys have history with, which is cool. I've never built this before, so it's going to be my first time. But yeah, as you know, transformable, yes, it's definitely transformable. Here's the Wave Rider mode right there. As some of you may know, currently in the process of, so we built the Master Grade Zeta Gundam 1.0. Now we're building this, which is not a Zeta Gundam, but this came out between the 1.0 and the 2.0. So we're building this. And then we'll build the 2.0, and then we've got the new ver.Ka coming out. So we can build that, see how that goes. So I'm going to follow the order that goes through in the manual, where for this particular kit, always with the older kits, and I was going to say especially MGs, but not actually. HGs and MGs. I don't know, just a lot of the older kits that were coming out at the time, the order in which you build parts of the kit is sometimes very strange. Like, it'll have you start with the arms. And I guess it's only strange based on what we're used to now. These days, usually start with like the head and or torso. But then RGs usually start from the feet up. So I mean, I guess I don't know, it depends on line. But for me, typically, I like starting from the torso and kind of working our way out. This one has us starting with the arms. Okay, fair enough. That's where we'll start for today. So all of the parts are all already as normal. I cut everything out, got rid of all the nubs and everything ahead of time. Just the polycap's the only thing that I just need to pop out as we're going along. So we'll do that. But yeah, the stream the other day, if you guys saw the stream of the HG Dragonar kit, you guys very generously reminded me that we need to finish this and the 2.0 before the ver.Ka comes out. So that night, that was Monday, so after the live stream finished, I recorded the unboxing for this and then took the kit home and then got everything all prepped Monday night. So I thought about doing this live stream yesterday, but I thought, well, I won't do 2 streams in a row, take 1 day off in between, and then we'll do this live stream today. But I am planning on doing another live stream build on Friday afternoon. That one is going to be a double live stream. Patrick, what's the song? I'm not sure. I don't recall that one offhand. Sorry, I couldn't say. But yes, the double live stream on Friday. Do you guys want to know what it is ahead of time, or do you want to wait and be surprised Friday morning when I post about what that's going to be? I'll tell you right now, at the very least, right now, I'll tell you that there is going to be a stream on Friday. If you want to know what it is, a double stream. 2 kits I'm building. And they're kind of relatively simple kits, that's why I'm building 2 of them. Do you want to... Okay. Data Mouth, thank you so much for the super chat there. Longtime fan of your channel, dude. Keep up the cool videos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Spill the beans, for sure said. Okay, I'll give you guys a hint. Oh, and I already forgot a polycap in the very first step. Okay. For the live stream, I'll tell you guys what it is, but I want to let you guys guess it first. I'm curious to see if anybody will guess it. But it's going to be 2 kits. Both of them relatively simple kits. Neither of them are anything from Gundam. Will said the music is a little bit loud. Okay, I can turn the music down a little bit. Let's go here. There, I turned the music down slightly. The 2 kits that I'm going to build on the live stream on Friday, neither of them are Gundam, but the 2 kits are from 2 different series. So it's not like 2 kits from the same series. 2 different series. Neither of them Gundam. So I'll let you guys place your bets. You don't stand to win anything, but... Oh, I did pop out the polycap. So I have the polycap here. I just forgot to put it in. Okay. Let's see if I can get this in without taking these all the way apart. I think I can if I have tweezers. Without... Because this is kind of tight. To pull these 2 pieces apart. If I can get this polycap in here without having to take the pieces completely apart, I can lower the risk of breaking anything. But even with the part separator, I was feeling like I still might break one of those pegs on there, but I guess it's okay. All right. Oh, well, okay. It's in there now, but the polycap actually slides in there. V-Fam? No, that's not it. Let's see. More Sunrise stuff that no one remembers. at all like Dragonar? I'm not sure if it's Sunrise, so you may be correct with that one, Mercenary, but I'm not sure. RG Gaugagar and RG Goldimarg. Good guess, but no. No, still don't plan on building that one. PCM. Here we go. When is the MGSD Freedom review coming out? Well, I have to get the kit first. I don't have it. It just released in Japan, as I'm sure you know, if that's why you're asking me about it. It's just released in Japan. Mine should hopefully be coming soon, but I've not gotten any confirmation on that yet, so I don't know if it's even on the way yet. Well, I know it's not on the way yet, but Polycap's going to be tricky. Good in there. There we go. And what up, Chris? Are you touching the L game finally? I mean, the only L game kit that I have is the R3, which I've already touched, as in I've already built and reviewed it. I'm not going to paint it or anything like that anytime in the near future. Chris, if you're just coming in and you've missed like what we're talking about, on Friday I'm gonna do a double live build. I'll just say that. I guess a double live build, right? Building 2 kits in a live stream on Friday. But I'm not telling what they are yet. I'm seeing if anybody can guess it. The Mark V? No. I've already built, painted, and sold the Mark V that I had. I would like to get another one though, just because it's such a good kit. But if and when I do get another one, I won't be live stream building it, because I think I already built. When I built the Mark V, did I live stream that build or no? I don't remember. One of you guys would have to go back and check for me. But are they new releases or older? They are both new. Yes, they're both new. One of them is kind of a variant of I guess a slightly older kit, not that much, but entry grade new, no. Snow, yes, snow. Plowing snow. I don't miss the Midwest at all. Tito over there on Twitch, what's going on there? Yay! So happy to have made it early. Normally I catch your streams late when you're nearly done. All right, so yeah, glad you can make it on time at the start. This one, I don't know. Not obviously like as an older MG, it's not going to be anything super complex, but I think it still will take a little while just because the nature of the design. So a little bit more complex, just because it's a transforming Zeta, right? It's going to be more complex than probably most other master grades at the time, but it's still gonna take a minute to put together. I'm gonna guess this is probably gonna take about 2 hours all in. We'll see how it goes. It may end up being much faster than that, or I don't know. We'll see. Can't be much slower. Frame arms? No. Good guess. Neither of the 2 kits are from frame arms. See, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here. Skipping a step there. I will say, at this point, I really like the design and the details of everything. Obviously, it's not as nice as Josh's redesign of it, which actually I have plans to do a phone hangout with Josh tonight. Sorry guys, still no Plamono trend for Josh and I. I'll discuss that with him tonight if we can set up a time to do one, because both of us have been talking about it. Like every time I talk to him, we both mention like, yeah, we want to do another episode, but it's just been difficult to schedule now that we're on much more different time zones than we were before. Before we were on not the same time zone, but at least it was closer. Now it's much more different. It's kind of difficult to do that. I think I put that part in upside down. No, I didn't, but that seems like it's way too much of a gap there. Or, okay, that's better. Didn't have that pushed down all the way. I'll talk to Josh about doing another episode of Planono Trend. You know, if we can find a time that we're both able to do that. But at least for this evening, just gonna call and chat with him. So looking forward to that. Estrella said, loving the increase of streams. Me too. Yeah, I'm glad to be able to do that. I hope that you guys do enjoy the live streams, just because all of last year, basically, right? I wanted to do more live streams, but it was just kind of more difficult to do. It's one of the reasons why I went through kind of redid my studio space here a little bit, just so that it'd be easier to do live streams with you guys. So now if I can just figure out the painting situation, so I can, that's the other thing that I would like to get back to, that I just kind of need to figure out how to do in this space. And I think I maybe sort of kind of finally have a solution for that, but that's the last thing that kind of needs to be sorted out. Yeah, you built the MG Mark V live on stream. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought I did. I thought I would have. Kit like that. You can't just keep that to yourself. You have to share a kit like that with the world. And it was a great kit. Yeah, I would definitely like to build another one. Bandai, Kotobukiya, or Motoroid? I keep kind of getting off topic, and some people are guessing and some people are not bothering guessing. So I'll just tell you guys, the two kits that I'm going to be building on Friday are going to be we have the new version. They're both right behind me here, actually. So I can grab it. New version of the Dendrobium. Here, well, one is the Brutish dog, the Wave Brutish dog. So here's this. This guy. So new kit from Wave, the Brutish dog, but most of the kit is not new. It's just the parts that make it the Brutish dog are new, but most of the kit is not. It's just the same Wave scope dog. And the Dendrobium kit is this one, the new version GT. Dendrobium kit here, Get Truth. That one as well is also not entirely new. Some of it is the same as what was in the previous one. But the previous one, if you guys remember, had like that claw arm. I think there's a picture of it somewhere in here. I don't know, maybe not. Had like the claw arm. It didn't have the cannon on the backpack and all that. So yeah, both of these kits are fairly simple and also both like kind of similar style. So that's why I figure we might as well just build them both together in a live stream. So yeah, that'll be on Friday. Check that out if you guys are going to be interested in something a little bit slightly more obscure. Neither of those series I would say are really too obscure, but they're not Gundam. So anything that's not Gundam in mecha models is going to be a little bit more obscure, right? All right. Yes, Armor Troopers. I have this in my backlog. Isotope said. There you go. So yeah, based on the previous versions that I have built of both of those kits, they both should be pretty nice. The Brutish dog, based on the scope dog, doesn't necessarily require glue, but I would definitely recommend gluing some parts of that. That's kind of, if you guys have ever built like any of the suits, any of the Machine Krieger suits from Wave, they're very similar kind of to building that, nicely detailed and everything. But I think on like some of the suits, it depends on the kit. Some of the suits you do need to glue parts here and there. With the scope dog kits from Wave, I think you wouldn't really need to glue anything, but I would recommend it anyway. So we'll see. We'll see on the live build. I don't know if I will do any gluing during the live build. I like to do as little gluing as possible ahead of the review, just so that I can tell you guys, like, kind of with more confidence, you know, how much glue is really required or not, and kind of demonstrate that. And only glue stuff if it really needs it. I think for the Scope Dog kits, I didn't glue anything, and I was able to get through the review fine. But definitely for painting those, I would definitely just glue some of that stuff. But that'll be on Friday. And also Friday morning, Adam and I will be live on the USA Gundam TV channel. So I mean, check that out in the morning. And then over on that channel, and then come back here to my channel here in the afternoon, where I'll be live building those kits. So it'll be a live day all day long on Friday. And I mean, if you guys have the entire day free, feel free to stop through either in the morning and or afternoon. All right. Dog got my RG Hainu and chewed up the leg. Oh no. I've heard of a lot of different like Gunpla horror stories, but I'm not sure if I've ever heard that. I'm sure I probably have heard that, maybe, I guess, at some point, but that's certainly pretty uncommon, I guess. Let's see. And where's the part I'm looking for? There it is. Yo, love the Sentinel kits, Hawks says. Yeah, I mean, really cool designs. Unfortunately, most of the kits are older, so they're not really going to be some of the nicest kits out there. But like the 1.5 version of the XS, obviously really nice, just because that's an updated version of that. The HGC S and XS are not bad. There's definitely far worse HGs out there. Those could definitely use some updating, but I mean, they're not terrible. Probably the best Sentinel kits would be like the Faz, because it's a newer master grade ver.Ka. Deep Striker is nice too, for what it is. I mean, that's just one of those kits. Don't expect it to do a whole lot, but if you want a master grade Faz, it's a cool looking kit for sure. Hey. All right. HG, XS, and S are nice, good looking bricks. Yeah, that was, I mean, this is going way back, but I'm sure some of you guys maybe remember this from my review of the HG UC XS Gundam. In that review, I'm sure, if I remember correctly, I talked about how I wanted to kit bash that kit, the HGUC XS, kit bash that with a frame arms architect frame. Just basically to give the HGUC kit a full inner frame, and that would also, the main point of that would be to increase the articulation that it has, for it to actually be able to do some cool dynamic poses and all that. And that is still a project that I do still want to do. It's not, I haven't forgot about it, but it's not something I've had any time to work on, or I just haven't made any time to work on. But I do still want to do that. So sometime in the future, it's a project that I want to work on. And I don't think it'll necessarily be that difficult of a project. It'll take a little bit of time, but for an older HGUC kit like that, and then basically just need to cut up all the parts to make them to all fit around the architect frame, and that's like exactly what the architect frame is for, just putting armor pieces onto the frame. So, you know, in theory, relatively easy, like kit bash, but you know, we'll see. So it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it ends up being more complicated. It's me, Pam said, what do you think about the HGUC Psycho Doga announcement? am both very excited but also a little bit sad, just because I don't have any way of getting my hands on one at the moment, because it is I think it's like a Gundam base exclusive, right? The Psycho Doga. So unless they bring it over to Bandai America, which I've not seen any word that they are planning on doing that, because I think it's not even Gundam base, it's like Gundam base Fukuoka exclusive, something like that. It's only a particular Gundam base that they're planning on releasing that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I love the Psycho Doga, and I'm really glad that they're finally making a model kit of it. I really hope that I can get one, but at the moment, I'm not sure how I might be able to get one, because I think even for people in Japan, like even for like Japanese model builders, I think it's not going to be an easy one to get a hold of, because it's going to be probably one of those situations that people are just going to be buying it up like crazy. And even for modelers there in Japan, it's probably going to be hard to get for a decent price, I should say. I mean, of course, you can get anything, if you're willing to pay a price. And that's the thing, like, I hope that I'm able to get that kit without having to pay an arm and a leg to get it, basically. So if any of you guys are in Japan or planning on traveling to Japan anytime soon, or know anybody in Japan that could help out with that, maybe let me know. I think I was thinking about asking Kurosama. I'm not sure if and when he's planning on going there next. I mean, still, just unfortunately the shipping's still crazy, but I don't know. Yeah, I do definitely want that kit though. Love the Psycho Doga design, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Here's the foot, really cool. Let's see. I'm stuck on Bandai for the Doga. Yeah, I don't know if, I think I heard it was announced for Bandai. Oh, really? Are they going to have it on Bandai? Do you still have your gray Zeta? Astope said, yes, pretty sure I do. Yeah, pretty sure. Because I don't think that's one that I would have sold, because I really like that one. So I guess in a way I have built the Zeta 2.0 before, but not the main Zeta Gundam, the gray Zeta. Let's see. Is it because you have a big backlog? What do you mean? Is what, because I have a big backlog? I don't want to pay a bunch for the Psycho Doga because I have a big backlog? I mean, yeah, that's one reason. One reason why I wouldn't want to pay like a huge amount for any particular kit, because it's not like I'm starved for kits, even if it's a kit I really, really, really want. Let's see, 32 millimeters for the hose part. Always remember that when Bandai gives you hose parts like this, whatever, and you need to cut it down to a particular length, it says right here, they always put a ruler down here at the bottom of the manual. So if you don't have a ruler on hand or something, or if you live in the US and you only have a ruler that has inches on it or something like that, there's always a ruler in the manual there for you. So it's a heads up. It can be kind of easy to miss down there at the bottom. And also, I always cut it slightly more, even though it says 32. I'll cut it to closer to 33. Slightly more. Don't go too much more, because sometimes then it won't fit properly. But they always give you enough extra that if you cut it a little bit slightly too long, like 1 millimeter too long, you can ensure that at the very least it's not going to be too short. And if you need to cut a tiny bit off just to get it to fit properly, it's easy enough to do. Like here for this, for example, there's the 4 pieces we need for the legs, and then I still have a whole 5th length of that you need, another 32 millimeters here worth extra that is just extra. So in case you need another one, I guess, in case you cut them wrong or something. Okay, will you be building the HGC Dendrobium? Yes. So yeah, a friend of the channel and Patreon supporter is going to be selling me his Dendrobium And so yeah, I'll be building that. Yeah, it's one of those kits that like it's so big and like just such a huge kit that just takes up so much space that like I've always been interested in building it, but the only reason that I've never like actively sought one out is just because it's so big and like I have so many other kits and it just takes up a ton of space. Like really the space is the reason, kind of like the main reason why I've not ever built one before. But it's one I've kind of wanted to build, especially for the content. It's one that I've wanted to build for a long time, and he had one that he was willing to part with, I guess. So I thought, all right, I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and build that. And yeah, a big reason for wanting to build that is really just for the content, just to share it with you guys. So I hope that you guys are looking forward to that, and I hope that you'll all tune in. I definitely plan on live streaming some, if not all, of the building process as much as I can, but again, it's like a huge thing, as you guys know. So hope that you guys will enjoy that. And I would like to do some sort of customization or painting or something like that. I'm not gonna, just because I have so many other things, other projects like that in mind that like I would like to do in the immediate future. I don't want to promise anything on that, especially right now, but it's something that I would like to do, so we'll see. Psycho, thoughts on the Genius headline MG Camper? Yeah, I don't know if Bandai is going to make that into an actual kit. As far as I've seen, that's just in the new Gundam Hobby Life issue. So if you guys don't know what Speedball Haro was talking about, in the new issue of Gundam Hobby Life, there's a new version of the camper. So if you guys saw like the X Impulse, it's from the same line, and like the Polypod Ball, the Gym Turbulence, the Stormbringer, these are all in that Genius Head line of like Build Divers redesigns, and they're all from Naoki, and they've all been ones that have been featured in Gundam Hobby Life. But as far as I can remember, there have also been some kits featured in that have not been actually made into like production model kits that you can like buy, right? I think some of them are just Naoki's redesigns and just like custom builds that are in the magazine, in the MOOC, but then they don't actually come out as like kits that you can buy. So I'm not sure if that one is going to be a kit that's going to come out that's going to be available for purchase. I haven't seen anything about that. I've just seen the pictures of the kit. It would be cool. Everybody loves the camper, and a lot of people have been wanting a 2.0 of the camper. I think what Bandai could do, if they make that, what was it, the camper Schwer or something like that? If Bandai ends up making that as a P Bandai MG variant, what they can do is what they did like kind of with the Dom, with the Dwaj, where they made a P Bandai Dwaj, and in making that, they developed some new parts for the Dom, and then they released a 1.5 version of the Dom with those new parts. They could do something like that with the camper, where they make some new parts for the camper, and they use those to make a 1.5 version MG camper. Now, a full-on 2.0 sure would be nice, and that's what we would all prefer. But if it ends up being that it's just a 1.5 version, I mean, that's not bad either. I wouldn't mind. It would still be nice, I think. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. As far as I've seen, I don't know if they're going to be making that as a kit or not yet, though. That's going to be a huge project to look forward to on the channel. Yeah, the Dendrobium, right? Raphael's talking about. Sorry to spam John has a question here though that he wants to know. Curious about what you think of the MG gun cannon since you've never reviewed it. I've heard it's a good kit despite being really old at this point. Thoughts? Yeah, I believe, as far as I can remember, I've heard the same, and I know it's a pretty popular MG. So as far as I know, I think it would be all right. But yeah, having not built it, I couldn't tell you with any certainty just how good it is or not. But as far as I know of that kit, it's certainly good enough that if you like it, I'm sure, like if you like the gun cannon, I mean, I'm sure you'll like the MG. I mean, the HG Revive I have built, and that was a great kit. And then there's the new version based on the Origins version. There's a new version of that gun cannon that's coming out as well, which also looks really nice, which is really interesting that it's not a P Bandai kit. Yeah. The things that Bandai chooses to make premium Bandai and the things that they don't, it's mysterious to say the least. So I'm putting the screw in here, but I can tell you guys that from what I can tell with this, I think you would be fine not putting the screw in the leg here if you wanted to just opt to not and just leave that out. But it says it should be all the way down. It should be flush, so I need to make sure it's in all the way. Thing is that with these older master grades, like sometimes the screws are just really difficult to get in. And if it was going to be giving me a lot of trouble, I would say just forget it and I wouldn't bother too much, but it went in well enough, so okay. Would you say the MG XN Riser is the best 00 variant out there to go along with the Virtue Dynamis? I guess I would say that, yes. I prefer the Sunriser, the XN Riser. I prefer that over the Seven Swords version and over the original. So yeah, in my opinion, that would be my favorite version of the 00 Gundam, yeah. Are you going to paint this Zeta Plus C1? Sufyan asked. No plans to at the moment. What I was thinking to do, since I'm building the 1.0, the Zeta Plus C1, and the 2.0, and the ver.Ka, I was thinking it would be cool to actually build and paint each version too, like kind of leading up to that, and then build and paint the new ver.Ka when that comes out. But just painting right now is just very difficult to do. So especially with like kind of recently, I've just been really behind on reviews and everything. So just trying to stay at least somewhat caught up on reviews, and then trying to do all the painting that I would love to do. Just kind of not possible to do it all, but that was something I was thinking about. So at the moment, no plans on painting this. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I would just say no. PCI. Let's see, a lot of PC parts here. PCI. Where's that? Right here. Let's see. Mr. Man said, hope you and the family are well. Thank you. My daughter and son are both kind of a little bit sick this week. But other than that, everything's all good. Thank you. You are a legend, JP said. Thank you. Are you excited for the Zeta ver.Ka? Yeah, I'm excited. Excited enough. I'm always excited about any new Gundam kits, and especially any new master grades are always exciting, even if it's a design that is like not one of my super favorite designs, as the Zeta is not one of my favorite Gundam designs. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Same thing with the MGSD. The Freedom Gundam's not one of my favorite Gundam designs, but just looks like it's going to be a fun kit regardless. Is it worth let's see, the HG Camper has been reissued a few times, so I think it's relatively easy to find. Might get it next time it comes on. Yeah, the HGUC Camper I think is nice. I actually don't think that the master grade's that bad. A 2.0 or a 1.5 of the master grade would be nice, but in my opinion, the 1.0 is really not that bad. Where is Polycap F? Oh, there it is. But the HGUC camper is also really quite nice. So yeah, if you wanted a camper and don't want to wait to see if and when Bandai might make a new version at some point, who knows? If you just wanted to pick one up, if you can get your hands on the HGUC, I would say yeah, go for it. It's good. Can't wait to see the ver.Ka. Yeah, it'll be cool. Definitely. And I'm glad to be able to do this with you guys. Just because it will, I mean, obviously with any kind of new version of a kit, you want to know how it differs from past versions. So it'll be interesting to see, yeah, what's new and different about the new ver.Ka compared to these past versions over the years, going from the 1.0 to this being sort of like a 1.5, and then going to the 2.0 to the ver.Ka. But as I talked about, I think not in the stream on Monday, but in a past stream the week before or something like that, and I'll talk about this again later once the kit actually comes out. But one important thing to keep in mind is that the new Zeta is not a 3.0. It's a ver.Ka, so you shouldn't really go into it expecting that it's going to be, you know, a little bit better or leaps and bounds better or in any way really better than the 2.0. That shouldn't be the expectation. I mean, you can assume that it will be at least somewhat better, or there will be like some kind of improvements or some things that will be improved at least a little bit or kind of different from the 2.0. But the point of the release is that it's a different take on the design, not that it's like a 2.0 or a 3.0, whatever. The point of those is to improve the kit. That's not what this is. This is, then they would have made it as a 3.0. Now this is to give us a model kit of Katoki's version of the Zeta Gundam. So important thing to keep in mind when it comes out. I think a lot of people are going to be comparing it to the 2.0, or a lot of people looking for content related to the kit are going to be looking for, you know, how does this compare to the 2.0? But yeah, again, I just don't think that that's the right thing to look for once the kit comes out. I mean, I definitely plan to talk about that in my review. I plan to discuss, you know, okay, here's how it's similar or different from the 2.0. But that's really only just to kind of point out the similarities and differences, not to like make any judgment on the kit being better or worse than the 2.0 just because that's not the comparison that I would want to make. My point would just be, yeah, just pointing it out. What's similar, what's different. I think it's going to be most on the articulation on the ver.Ka, and it's going to be easy to transform thoughts. Yeah, as far as anything, as far as like what will be different than the 2.0, yeah, my expectations would be something along those same lines. I think that's a good bet that there will probably be a little bit improvements, ideally improvements to the articulation, so that it's still able to fully transform whilst hang on, I missed something here. I didn't. Aha. Okay, no, I did sort of. Anyway, yeah, making it so that it's able to fully transform without sacrificing any of the articulation along the way. And I like the 1.0 basically did that. The 1.0 both has, you know, fine. I mean, as far as I was concerned, for a 1.0 kit from 1996 master grade, the articulation was, I mean, fine, as good as I would expect. And the 2.0, as far as I can remember from building the gray Zeta, the articulation on that was fine. So it already can both transform well and not sacrifice any articulation along the way. But yes, with the ver.Ka, I expect that to be kind of even more so. Yeah. That the transformation is maybe, even a little bit easier. Hopefully, maybe it looks a little bit better when it's all done. Kind of looks more correct, I guess. I don't know. And that all the articulation is really nice because speaking of ver.Kas, the transforming Victory 2 Gundam ver.Ka definitely was not very well articulated, to say the least. So that was definitely something that was a bit of a disappointment with that kit. So yeah, hopefully we don't have anything even close to what happened with that kit. It is a fine kit if all you want to have it do is just standing there. But I mean, even with that, the Victory 2, I think, I don't know, from my experience, from what I can remember, I mean, even just having it just standing there in a cool pose was, I mean, the difficulty was in the hips. It's like the main section, the waist section, like the torso, like the stomach section, the hips. Because of the transformation, that whole section of the build was just very difficult. Do you think the the Mark II RG is worth it? I Tegzi asked. Yeah, totally. Definitely one of the best RGs. The HGC Revive Mark II is also really nice. So between the two, which one would you go for is kind of more up to you. Depends on what you want of the kit. Between the two, that'd be a tough call for me because I really like them both, but they have a little bit different look, obviously different amount of details, and like with the RG, of course, you have the full inner frame and all that. The articulation on both are nice, so that's kind of a toss-up. They're kind of equal, I would say, probably on their articulation, but it is an older RG, but you don't have some of the minor issues that some of the other older RGs had. Maruai just announced a lot of upcoming non-Gundam kits a few days ago. Are you looking forward to any of those? I don't remember what was announced a few days ago, so it was nothing that caught my eye that I can remember, but I have to go back and look. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Yes, real type version is the best Mark II. I mean, the real type colors do look very nice. Duo Maxwell asked on Twitch, how long does it take for top coat to cure, and which brand dries the fastest? Probably the fastest would be just like Mr. Color or Tamiya spray top coat. I think the Mr. Color one is the spray top coat that I've used the most, which is right over there. Yeah, the Mr. Color can spray top coat. And to fully cure, I would say give it a good, at least like around 24 hours to fully cure, but it should be like dry to the touch within 20 minutes. If it's from a spray can sprays on the paint a little more thick, so you want to give it a little bit more time. If you're airbrushing, it'll be dry to the touch within a couple minutes. But from a spray can, I would give it a few minutes just because you really don't want to mess up the top coat. It'd be a shame, you're done with everything and you do your top coat, and then after 5-10 minutes you think it's okay to touch, and you put a big fingerprint in the top coat. It's happened to me multiple times before. Don't make that mistake. Give it plenty of time to be sure that it's dry before you touch anything on the top coat. And then when you do, touch it on like an area that is going to be like an area that's not going to show on the finished kit, just in case. That would be my advice to you on that issue. So basically I should get the normal RG Mark II then. Yeah, I mean, if you like the Mark II's design and there's one available to you at a decent price, then yeah, go for it. It's a cool kit. But I mean, yeah, the HGC Revive is also a great kit too. So, I mean, don't overlook that just because it's an HG. I would look into both and, you know, decide which one you like the look of better, because they just have a little bit different look to them aesthetically. Not even just details, of course. The RG is more detailed and more parts and all that, but just kind of the design proportions are a little bit different. I like the HGC because it has a little bit kind of more of a meaner, more kind of bulky look a bit to it. I really like the redesign of the HGC. What display stands do y'all prefer to use for the cleanest look? I mean, as you guys know, for my like painted builds, I prefer like a good, nice woodblock stand. I think those look the best. But if you're talking like Bandai bases, action bases, oops, I was supposed to put this. Let's see if I can do this. I was supposed to put the pipe parts through here first. I'm gonna take these off and do that again. Head the other way around. For Bandai action bases, I mean, they all kind of look generally the same. For displaying finished kits, I think Bandai action bases don't really look the best. They work well for, you know, just holding up your kits and action poses or whatever. If you're just having like a display of some snap build kits up on your shelf, whatever, I think that's what they're perfectly fine and good for that. They're not really my favorite as any way to actually display like painted, finished builds. For that, I would recommend getting something a little nicer. Let's see. There we go. Have you seen the Camper Amazing images? Yeah. MG. Oh, MG Camper Amazing? I think you mean it's not a ver.Ka. It's talking about the MG Camper Amazing. I think it's not the MG Camper Amazing, unless there's some MG Camper Amazing images. No, I've not seen that, but there are those MG Camper variant images we were talking about earlier that are from the new Gundam Hobby Life magazine. Yeah, we talked a bit about that. Ted placed his vote on getting the HGC Revive Mark II over the RG. Oh, no, he's saying get one of the two versions, like get the AUG version in HGC and the Titans version in RG. Yeah, I mean, you could go that route. Buy both. Yeah, he says. Yeah, could do that too, sure. I want to get a few RG kits, and I love the industrial look of the RG Mark II. Yeah. Yep, fair enough. All right. PCE here. Let's finish up this other leg here, and then we can get to the more exciting and tricky portion of the build, the torso. Oh, I think we have the head first before the torso, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But I gotta say, so far, all pretty good and well here for this. Just building the limbs. I mean, one thing about this kit is that you have this big seam line down the side. Let me show you this here. This big seam line down the side of this armor here, but I think you could pretty easily like cut this armor or something in a way so that you wouldn't have that, because you have the same one down here. These two kind of main shells of armor for the front and back of the lower leg have a seam line between the two, and then that vent inside there, that's actually separate parts for that vent. and these parts are made like as two separate parts for this vent detail, which is like pretty annoying. But you could definitely just glue these together and just get rid of the seam and then just pop it in there as one solid piece. And I think that would be pretty easy to do. But yeah, it's weird that they designed those in that way. That was the early 2000s for you, early 2000s MG. But it's really cool that they made this kit is entirely new. So this kit does not use any parts from the MG 1.0 Zeta. I don't know the design of the Zeta that well to even know if they could have used any of those parts, just because let's see. Okay, now is where we need to turn the page. It could be that the Zeta Plus is different enough from the Zeta that they just wouldn't have been able to make the frame to be reusable. So if that makes sense. But for anybody that was wondering, let's see, make sure I have everything turned the right way. If you were wondering about if this reuses any of the parts of the 1.0 Zeta, it does not. Not at all. So I didn't know what to expect really, if it would or wouldn't. I was kind of expecting that it may use, and I think I forgot, I did forget a screw over here on this leg. Actually, I think I might go back and put that in. I was expecting or let's say I wouldn't have been surprised if this kit would have been using, at least a couple of like the frame runners or something from the 1.0 Zeta, but nope, it's all new. So there you go. Let's see. Hi new Daniel said, "Hi Zach, I'm trying to build efficiently these days. I just saw one of your videos from a few years ago explaining how you do it personally. Is there anything you would add to that video today?" Just as far as building efficiently, you're talking about the video that I did building the HGC Zaku 2. I think it was like the Zaku 2 or the Zaku 1. I think it was the Zaku 1 that I built in that video. If that's the video you're talking about, that's yeah, I guess from maybe like about a year and a half ago, not that old. And so no, I don't think I would really have anything really too much to add to that video, because that's pretty recent, and no, I don't think I've really changed anything since then. So whatever I said in that video should still hold true. Let me see. If we were on here, that means the screw would have been on this side. Let's see. What are you guys on about? Sufyan asks, "Sorry to ask, would you mind, what nipper do you use for this kit or all your kits? You have a very clean cut and less nut marks." Yeah, I just used the USA Gundam Store single blade nippers. But I mean, if you don't live in the US, just any single blade nipper is going to be generally comparable. So like other brand ones, like God Hand or Tamiya. But yeah, if you do live in the US, I can recommend you guys, if you're in the market for new nippers, the USA Gundam Store ones are good. That's what I've been using for last couple of years now, and they work good. And the nice thing about them, just to do a little plug here, since you brought it up, if you order them Where's that screw? Did I covered up the screw hole, didn't I? Shit. If you order the USA Gundam Store nippers, then you get free shipping on your order. So like if you're ordering some other model kits or something else together, and you are also picking up the nippers at the same time, when you add them to your cart, you get free shipping. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's this little cap piece to cover up where the screw goes on the frame, which is kind of cool. So yeah, definitely the screws, at least so far, the couple in the legs seem like if you just wanted to omit them entirely, that the kit I think would probably be fine without them. It's not like it would be like this big loose mess. I think it would hold together just fine. It's probably a little bit tighter, obviously with the screws, than without, but not necessary, I would say. Okay. Now, as we were saying, I mistakenly put those back in the wrong place. There we go. Okay. As we were saying, let's see, let me get caught up here in the chat for a second. How is the Zeta Plus? How old is this model now? Michael asked. This is from 2002, so it's 20 years old now. Over 20 years old. We were doing, let's see, PCI. We need 2 of those. PCF. PC9. I have to get like a full collection of polycaps here, where you can put the leg together. Okay. Put that there. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Can't manage to squeeze that polycap in there. There we go. Yep, 21-year-old kit. Yes, it's old enough to drink now. If it, in fact, lives in the US, where, for some strange reason, the drinking age is 21 and not 18. Let's see. Do you think Bandai will have a response to the rise in second and third party competition putting out better and better Gundam inspired kits? Not really. My opinion on that, and until I see or hear anything otherwise, my opinion on that is that Bandai is not influenced at all by what these other companies are coming out with. I know that a lot of people think that, but I just don't think that. Like how you have something like the like Dragon Momoko made a Testament Gundam, and then Bandai makes a Testament Gundam, and then you have people online saying like, "Oh, Bandai made that in some way as some response to Dragon Momoko making a theirs," or like, as in like Bandai wouldn't have made that if Dragon Momoko hadn't made it. This type of thing. I just don't agree with that. I just don't think that's the case. I think Bandai is such a huge company, and they're basically just printing money. They don't need to really pay attention to what these other companies are doing. I mean, I think probably the only company that Bandai really pays much attention to in terms of like trying to keep up with competition is maybe Kotobukiya, and you see that with like the 30 minutes missions line, the 30 minutes sisters line, as kind of, in my opinion, a pretty obvious response to like Frame Arms and Frame Arms Girl. Bandai saw like that Kotobukiya is doing pretty well with those kits and those lines, and Bandai wanted to get in on that market. Otherwise, no, I don't think that Bandai really cares too much about keeping up with or responding to in any way like these third-party companies. I mean, really, there's why? They just don't have any reason to. But I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong. But until I hear anything like from somebody at Bandai saying like, oh yeah, we made this kit as a response to X, or because we saw these companies like putting out such high quality we decided we need to kind of make sure we improve our quality in order to compete with these companies. No, I don't think so. Bandai is very well established in their quality, and like I said, whatever they make, they're doing just fine. Like I said, they're essentially printing money at this point, so they don't have that problem. Damn it! I forgot a piece again. And again, it's a very inconsequential piece, but I'm gonna have to go back, take these apart again. Considering that Bandai owns Gundam, they have a de facto monopoly, and people will prefer the actual thing over bootlegs most of the time. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, are other companies going to try to capitalize off of like what Bandai makes? Like, really, if anything, it's the other way around. That's why these companies are making, and like what's been recently, it's not been so much like direct bootlegs of like ripping off Bandai's IP directly, but it's been stuff like the what's it called? Shit. What's it called? And we just got the new version of it, the Moon version of it. You know what I'm talking about. The Judge. Not being exactly the Forbidden Gundam, but basically. Forbidden, right, is what that was basically. That and like some of these other like kind of metal build style mecha figures coming from some of these Chinese companies that aren't Gundam exactly but look very Gundam adjacent. I think that's more of a reaction the other way around. They're trying to capitalize off what Bandai does, and yeah, maybe doing it better, quote unquote. I mean, subjectively, depending on what you want, maybe better than Bandai in certain ways. Certainly maybe more affordable than Bandai. I don't know why that was zoomed in the whole time. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the Hunt and Kill, that's another good example. Yeah, I think they're trying to make products, and I mean, are they like just as good, if not like, and or better than Bandai products, or yeah, sure. And I mean, just because Bandai can't make everything at once, so the fact that they can find, like these other companies can find like Gundam designs that Bandai has not made yet, like for example the Testament Gundam we were talking about it just a minute ago. The Testament Gundam, for a company like Dragon Momoko to come out and find a Gundam design that you could pretty easily guess would be a pretty popular one, and make that I was gonna say it wouldn't be that difficult, I guess is what I'm saying, is that there's a lot of Gundam IP in terms of mecha designs that exist that Bandai could make model kits of. They can't make a model kit of everything all at once. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that exists out there that we don't have model kits of, and it's just because Bandai just hasn't got around to it, or hasn't decided that it would be in their best interests as a business, as in it hasn't decided to invest the money into the development of a model kit that they don't think is going to give them, is going to maximize their return on it. So, yeah. My point is, there's always going to be gaps there that these other companies can find and fill because Bandai can't make everything at once. So it would not be difficult. I don't think it's necessarily that these other companies are like breaking the mold or doing anything like so crazy. Just by the fact of like the things that they're making. It's just that they're just filling gaps that Bandai hasn't got to yet. Is usually more so the case. If that makes sense. Excuse me a moment while I hyper focus here to put this eye sticker on properly. There we go. I thought I had it on the first time, but it looked a little bit crooked. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell when you're first putting it on, and then once you put the face mask part on, you realize, oh, the eyes are crooked. Let's see, PCB. Don't want to forget the Polycap there. There's an MGC one. I thought there was only the A one. Yep, nope, there's both. This is definitely the superior version, if you ask me. Go together, you. There we go. This is not P Bandai, no. Light bulbs are healthy. Asking if it's P Bandai. Nope, not P Bandai. Bandai advantage is they can make cheap plastic. I mean, yeah, they can, and that's one of the advantages of some of these other companies, Chinese companies, by and large, is that they're able to produce stuff for cheaper and then sell stuff for cheaper. I mean, that's an advantage that they have. But yeah, I don't know. And then sometimes the quality is not as good. Sometimes the quality is just fine of some of those kits. Bandai owns not only do they own the copyright on the intellectual property of like Gundam, the designs of them, but as far as just like model kit production, Bandai owns a number of different model kit production copyrights. Is that right? As well. For example, like the multi-injection like runners that have multiple colors on a single runner. I believe, as far as I know, as far as I can remember, the Bandai owns the copyright on that technology. So when you see other companies, and you do see it from time to time, most of them don't really do it just because I think it may just be cheaper for them not to do it or whatever. But I have seen it. Some other companies that put out kits that have multiple colors on the runner. That would also be copyright infringement, I believe. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Here's our head. Yo, the ape over there on Twitch. Yo, what's up? Do you like where the UC timeline is at right now when it comes to anime? Should they conclude that era and just go in a different direction? Hi, New Daniel asked. Interesting question. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm happy with where it's at. I think I wouldn't mind if they keep making more UC content, so long as it's not anything that's like retconning the timeline too much. And I think, yeah, where they're at right now, it's already kind of mostly filled out. There's not much that they could really do, but I mean, there's always side stories and things like that I think they could fit in there that wouldn't mess up the timeline of other series or anything like that, really. Probably. But yeah, the timeline is pretty full, so I don't know. They may have to, get away from it for the most part going in the future. We shall see. The Acer wants a Kasi MG from Bandai. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Probably not, but I don't know. That would be a very large MG. And it's not like they haven't done large MGs, but I think if they were going to make a 1/100 scale of the Kasi, that would be a really good candidate for RE100. Not having the full inner frame and everything, they would be able to keep the cost down on it a little bit. But I don't know. All right, now we can finally put the torso together, and then after that, start connecting some of these sections together. All right. You want a 5er and a 5er2 MG? Yeah, don't think that's gonna happen. Although I wouldn't be too surprised, and I'm somewhat hopeful that we may see a master grade wound war at some point in the future. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do. I would love that. Absolutely. It would definitely be P Bandai if we did, which is unfortunate, but I would rather have an MG wound wart than not. But that would be nice. I don't know. They've certainly reissued the HG so many times and like different versions of the HGs. So, I mean, there's definitely enough of a customer base that enjoys the wound wart design that at least it makes sense to me that they could go ahead and make an MG of that. And I mean, then they didn't even need to make a lot of different versions of that MG. I mean, just make one or two other variations in MG, and I mean, I'm sure it would more than pay for itself for the production. But yeah, I don't know if they will or not. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that they will. I would have never expected we would have got kits like the gigantic arms version of the Hazel Auslaw, for example. Never would have expected that, but we got it. So an MG wound wart does not sound, at least to me at the moment, doesn't sound completely out of the realm of possibility. I kept missing reissues of the HGC wound wart. Well, I mean, Raphael, it's reissued. It seems like every time they make a new HGC, like P Bandai AOZ kit, anytime they do, they reissue the Hazel, they reissue the wound wart along with it. So, let's see. Is there any point of going back to any other timeline, maybe 00 or Seed series? I know things are looking good for Witch from Mercury, but just curious what you think. I mean, yeah, there could be. Going back to other different centuries, other different universes in Gundam. I mean, I think they could. And certain series may lend themselves better to that than others. Like, this is difficult for me just because I don't remember a lot of them all that well. But like, for example, from what I remember of like Gundam 00, I don't think that Gundam 00 would be one that they could very easily go back to. But Gundam Seed, I think, yeah, that'd be one that'd be easier for them to go back and revisit, kind of making some new, kind of, again, side story type stuff, or prequel, sequel, something like that. Where ideally it would be with some different characters, if they were, just as to not focus again on the same characters. I think that would be shooting themselves in the foot. Obviously there would be some people that would like that, but I think generally the better way to go would be just to focus on some new characters. And there's still plenty of space for the IBO timeline. Yeah. I would love a redo of G Gundam. Yeah, a redo, if not a redo, but or some other kind of new addition or something like that. And G Gundam, yeah, certainly G Gundam, just based on like how G Gundam is set up, there's definitely room in G Gundam for them to go back to that series, to that universe, as either a prequel, a sequel, or kind of whatever. Have you ever tried Warhammer kits? Llama asked. No, never built any Warhammer kits. But I did see that a company is coming out with some minis from the from Maschinen Krieger. There are some actual like licensed Maschinen Krieger minis that are coming out that look pretty cool. Those are tempting, definitely. I didn't see the price on them. I'm sure they're pretty expensive, and that's probably gonna be what would keep me from getting them. But those do look kind of cool. But no, Warhammer stuff, no, just never really appealed to me. Didn't really like the designs. All kind of like wizards and orcs and dragons and monsters and stuff. That doesn't like really appeal to me as much as like mecha stuff does. So that's why. Does this Zeta transform? Yes, it does, Michael. Yes, absolutely transforms. Okay. Got this part here, right? Yeah. Interesting how much of the transformation gimmick, the way that it transforms, doesn't change that much between one kit to the next of the Zeta line, at least from my experience so far. Which kind of makes sense, just because I mean the Gundam has like in canon like an established way that it transforms, so it makes sense that the kit kind of has to follow that. But at the same time, and I think I don't know, there maybe could have been some way that they could have gone about the transformation of the model kit in maybe a little bit different way or something, but it's generally kind of the same. That's kind of interesting. Also, Warhammer has plenty of mecha later. Check out the Thailand part. Yeah, I have seen there. I mean, I know that there's mecha stuff in Warhammer, but again, it's still just not really to my taste. I mean, yeah, it's more mecha than non. I mean, I guess, yeah. Anyway, yes, I know that there's mecha type of stuff in Warhammer, but as far as I've seen, just never really seen. I mean, maybe I could look some more, but I mean, I see it just because it's a fairly similar community, fairly similar hobby. I see quite a lot of Warhammer stuff just around, and yeah, never seen anything that really kind of stood out to me as something that I thought I might be interested in. There should be 2 clicks for those, and I've only heard 1, but I think it's okay. So for this, rotate that up, and that goes in here, and that goes in there. Okay. And there. Okay. The torso's coming together here. Tao is a weird mix of Japanese and Western mecha design, which makes for a weird lineup of mechs. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's not really to my taste what I've seen of the designs. Yeah, they're expensive. Yeah, that's the thing. With minis, they're expensive, and yeah, they're obviously not made for any articulation or anything like that. They're just made to be built and painted. 12. So I don't know if I'm gonna paint anything small like that. I mean, there's Gundam options like the artifact kits and similar type stuff, mini Gunpla kits, which I have a few of, and like machining Krieger kits. There's a 1/35 scale, which are pretty small. Machining Krieger kits as well. So I have other mini stuff that I can paint without having to get into Warhammer or anything. It's just like I said, the designs don't really do much for me. Where's this part? There it is. Okay. And that's meant to be up. Like that. And this one's meant to be like this. Here we go. I went crazy when I saw artifact kits, yet never managed to get any. Oh, yeah, I was kind of the same when they were first announced. I was super stoked, thinking like, yeah, these look awesome. And then as I saw more photos of them closer to the release, I was like, ooh, that's a lot of seam lines on there. They just looked like more work than they were worth, really. So actually, when they were first announced, I pre-ordered a set, and then as I saw more images of them, I actually canceled my pre-order just because I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can really be bothered like doing that much seam line removal on such a tiny kit, and like, I don't know, didn't really seem worthwhile. But now that I've actually built one last month, yeah, seems like so long ago, but it was literally only like a month ago that I built one. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to building another one, actually, to be honest. There's some really cool ones coming out in set 3. You guys have probably seen, if you've been on Twitter at all over the past month or so, I've seen already like dozens of builds of the Cuble from set 3 of Gundam Artifact. So that's definitely one of the cooler looking ones from set 3. But there's a couple other ones. Like, what else? There's the Goof Flight type, which looks pretty cool. So I think that's also in set 3, right? Some really cool ones there. The seam line and mold line removal, yeah, it's part of the job. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just, for me, my thinking at the time was like, it's just not something that it's just like as an investment. I mean, for that much seam line, mold line removal on the kit like that small, I mean, I'm just trying to think about, like, okay, is spending that much amount of time to do that on those kits something I would enjoy more than building these other kits? And I just thought I would rather just do other stuff than work on those artifact kits in that way, if that makes sense. Just kind of had to prioritize, and yeah, Artifact did not win out on that prioritization. But like I said, I enjoyed the Biolant, and I'm definitely going to build at least one more at some point, I'm sure. I've been kind of thinking about that actually recently, about picking one up just as a little side project to keep around, but also trying to avoid getting too bogged down with side projects, right? You need to build one thing, finish it, then go on to the next thing. here. This is one of those parts where you got kind of like a couple of pieces you kind of have to balance. They don't go together quite tightly until you push everything together, and it's a little bit of a balancing act in the meantime to get everything to stay where it needs to be. There we go. I think I got it. And kind of difficult to have a good place to push on that too. Okay, so there's that. I can go ahead and just pop this right on here. Oof, tight fit. Yeah. You think they'll update the Zeta Plus C1 with the new ver.Ka mold? Yeah, very likely. I'm not sure. I mean, couldn't say if they really will or not, but I would say it's certainly likely. Now, these parts have a specific arrow, so with the arrow pointed that way, it needs this part, and that goes on here. And with the arrow pointed that way, this part on here. And we can put this here. Who did? Okay. All right. Love to hear that click. Okay. There's our torso. All right. We're getting there. And we just have these bits here. These are the same, right? G11, yep, okay. But what's up with y'all? Really looking forward to the Gundam Artifact Cubile. Blaze agreed. Yeah. That one's definitely the one. Easy to see why that seems to be the most popular one of that set. Or if not like the most popular artifact kit so far. I mean, I don't know. What else would be one of the more popular ones of the entire series so far? I guess maybe like the Nightingale probably. There's that. And okay, I was thinking I forgot this piece. Like, I have this piece left over. Why is this just sitting here? But it goes right here. Okay. Oops, don't drop that, please. All right. That should go ahead and pop into place, please. There we go. Hold the hips right there where they're supposed to be. Okay. So our torso is done, but we still can't put anything together yet because we have to put some other parts on there. But I think we can go ahead and put the arms on. I just want to do that just because I like having things put together. Yeah. I'll say the shoulder is very loose, shoulder armor. Doesn't really matter because it's just basically held on around the top of the upper arm. So as long as the that part just came off. Stay on there, please. Is there something with the shoulder armor? Oh, okay, that's just kind of meant to be on there like that. Yeah, it's interesting. All right. Let's see. Did they scrap the live action movie, or Gundam, was that going to come out? Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that live action movie. It's, I don't know. Seems to be at the very least on like a forever hiatus. I don't know. Good question. Yeah, you just got to be a bit careful rotating the arms. It seems like, just because when you're trying to rotate the arms, it's going to pop out this piece here on like the side of the torso. So you got to be a little bit cautious with that. But all right, I think the only photo has been released out of the live action Netflix Gundam project. Yeah, they just had that one photo that came out with like a year and a half ago, and I have not seen anything or heard anything about it since then. It's being reworked into a series, Meester said. I've not heard anything about that, but could be. I wish Bandai repurposed the Zeta transformation for an MG Murasame. So we have the backpack next, actually, before we get to the waist sections. So I'll follow the manual. I will say one thing that I like about this kit is the fact that it does not include a just like standard Zeta beam rifle. And the only reason that I like that is because that would have just been one more accessory that I have to build that I would never use. So I'm totally fine with that. I know typically what I would say, and what I will surely mention in the review, is that, you know, it's always nice to have more accessories. It's always nice to have more options than less. But in this case, I mean, one of the reasons why a lot of people are buying this kit, no doubt, is because they want that awesome beam smart gun that this kit includes. And so if you've got that, what's the point of even having a beam rifle? And I'm sure canonically it doesn't use the Zeta beam rifle, so that's kind of the main reason. But it seems like they could have like just thrown that in there with this, but I'm glad that it's not there, not in there. Beam smart gun is cooler, yes, obviously, as Maverick mentioned there on Twitter, Twitch. Yeah, it's such a cool weapon. You really just don't need anything else. You have beam sabers. Oops, that's not right. You have the beam sabers, which is a nice weapon alternative to have, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, with a kit like this, you're getting it for the beam smart gun. I think the Zeta Plus A1 has the regular beam rifle. Is that correct? The C1 has the beam smart gun, and the A1 has just the Zeta's beam rifle. So on that version, I would have to go. I'll have to check Dalong, or if one of you guys know, maybe you can let me know in the chat. Am I right? First of all, am I right in that the A1 has the regular Zeta beam rifle? And then if that's the case, is it just copies of the runner from the 1.0, or is it new parts for that kit? I would be beam rifle that I like the beam rifle that can emit a saber out the muzzle. Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, it makes sense, kind of, I guess, that they can beam rifles that they can emit a just beam saber. I guess, I don't know, depending on the series and like how they set up the science of it, but it makes sense well enough to me that beam beam rifles should be able to do that, generally. Yeah, I got 3, A1, A2, and C1 Maverick said. So the A1 and I guess the A2 as well have the beam rifle and the runner is copied from the 1.0 Zeta, is that right? Seems the A1 has a different rifle from the original Zeta. Oh, okay, no. If I want to repaint the MG Eclipse Gundam, is there anything I must watch over, Heaven? As far as MG Eclipse Gundam, I don't remember offhand if there was anything worth noting, but I mean, it's been a while, and I wasn't really paying that close attention to that aspect of the build at the time, so take that with a grain of salt. I mean, just keep your eyes open, I guess, on the build if there's anything that looks like you need to pay special attention to as far as painting it. Different rifle than the standard Zeta Gundam. Okay, all right, so there you go. Yep, it's different. Just out of curiosity, I do wonder what that one looks like, though. I'll have to go and check Dalong after this. But regardless, the Beam Smart Gun is the cooler weapon, no doubt. So I'm happier with this one. I think this kit has the cooler color scheme and the cooler weapon. So this is definitely my preference between the two, or I guess between the three. But between the different versions of the Zeta Plus, I guess. Not built the HGC version of the Zeta Plus. Have I? No, I did. That's dumb. I built the A1, didn't I? Or it was the test color version of that one, right? I did build that, didn't I? Let's see. Yeah, Blaze also saying that the A1's rifle is a little bit different. The A1's rifle doesn't collapse or get shorter. Okay, so it doesn't extend. Has the kit aged well? Michael wants to know. So far, I think, yeah, I mean, it seems nice. It's definitely an older MG, and I think it's definitely not going to be without issue. But, I mean, it seems all right. Yeah, for right now, we'll see. I think the one area that's probably going to be the most difficult thing with a kit like this is the articulation, particularly in the hip section. It took Bandai a while to figure out how to make the hips in a way that allow for like nice articulation. Oops, I thought I had that polycap in there wrong. Putting this together, thinking I think that polycap's in there incorrectly, and yeah, glad I double checked because it was. But yeah, the hips can be a difficult part just because it's hard to do a lot of poses if the legs don't look right, and if the hip articulation is not there to allow you to do, you know, those poses, then yeah, that can make your life difficult as far as posing the kit goes. That's probably going to be the biggest thing that you would struggle with a kit like this. But other than that, I mean, just seems pretty alright. Alright, there we go. That's that. And other side here. Sweet. It's kind of a weird injection in placement kind of here on this like vernier part that goes on the backpack that kind of makes it hard to push in there. go. Interesting. The feet are the problem here for articulation. I mean, the feet seem fine. And the design, the shape of them, everything looks good. So, I mean, as far as I can tell so far, the feet are fine. People talk about build fighters all the time, and at least half the kits I see at Target are all build fighter stuff. Yeah, I mean, build fighter. I really wish they would go back to doing HGUC revive kits. Ted said, yeah, I agree. I really wish that they would just do more HGUC kits in general, whether they be revive or not. But yes, certainly the revive kits are nice. Were nice. Would be nice to see more of them. I agree, yeah. There's the center part of the backpack. We can go ahead and pop that on, it looks like to me. Right, let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Maybe not. The hip skirt armor should go on first, it looks like, probably. So we'll wait a second on that. Okay, PC 11. Gonna have to cut these. What is this song artist? Some of the music I have it turned down on my end so that I can like barely hear it. Some of the music is just YouTube, just free music from just like YouTube library. That's probably what it is. Polycaps in there. The last HUC revive was the Zakutu mass production type. Yeah, which right. It's wasn't actually a revive kit, right? Because it wasn't branded that way, but essentially it was. Wing, is there wings are the same, right? Yes, okay. That goes on there. This on here. And then that there. Okay. Then part fits over the edge. That's the wing. Take two of these to make sure they're the right way. That's right. This one, and these are slightly different. I'm trying to make sure I got the right ones on there. That's like that. Okay, it's one wing and other wing.
Perfect.
Here. All right. There's a garage kit for the Zeta Plus 2. Did you order that? Can't transform it though. No, I don't. I mean, I don't have any garage kit for the Zeta Plus. Oh, for the Zeta Plus. Garage kit. No, I don't have that. Or no. What happened to the Rick DS? I don't know what happened to the Rick DS. Sounds like you're meaning that I was maybe working on a Rick DS project or something like that at some point, but I wasn't. Maybe you're thinking of the Rick Dom and the Rick Dom and the O kit bash. That was something. that I was meant to work on. I've kind of started sort of to begin working on, but not that much. Just goes on here like this. And wait a minute. Oh. There we go. Yeah, the O and Rickdom kit bash. Yeah, that's another thing that's just kind of on the to-do list. I started just kind of messing around with the kit bash just kind of loosely, thinking about like which parts from which kit I might want to use. Basically just doing that and trying to come up with an idea for it, but so far I haven't really had a good idea for how I want to go about that project yet. So yeah, nothing really too much going on with that until I have a good solid idea for the concept. There's that part of the backpack. I need to build the skirt armor before we can finish up the lower part of the assembly and the hips. Hey Zach, have you ever painted the Sazabi ver.Ka? No, I have not. But that is yet another long lost but not forgotten work in progress is the master grade Sazabi, which I started working on the resin dress up set for that infinite dimension one. And yeah, someday we'll get back to that project as well. Let's see. All right. So this part actually I forgot to put here. There we go. Okay. Just like that. Then these guys together. We need a new HG Gelgoog really bad. Yeah, new Gundam. So I can definitely agree with that. If there's any continuation of the Revive HG kits, whether they are labeled Revive or not, yeah, a new HG Gelgoog would certainly be appreciated by me and by many of y'all, I can assume. Okay, fair enough. There's the backpack. I love the fuel tanks. Another thing that I love about the Zeta Plus design is the backpack. It's really cool. Oh yes, we have the band sticker here, which goes on there. The black part goes on the underside. I think that's just where the sticker is supposed to overlap. Let's see. Oops, other way. And this being an older foil sticker, I don't expect that it's going to stay on forever or for very long at all. So that means I need to do the review relatively quickly. If I wait like any longer than a week to do the review, I'm going to come back and the sticker's probably going to be peeling up. But at least it's on there for the time being. Do you know how long it will take Ariel to get an MG version? Tsumiki asked. I would say we probably will not get an MG Ariel anytime this year, but it's very likely we'll get one next year. certainly don't have any inside knowledge or anything on that, so I mean, that's just my opinion on that. I would say it's very, very likely we will get an MG aerial, and I don't think Bandai would want to wait too long to make it. They'd want to have it come out while the series is still pretty hot. But with the full mechanics 100 scale version coming out next month, or anyway very soon, they're not going to want to put out a 100 scale full mechanics and then a 100 scale MG too close to each other, because then they're going to interfere with each other's sales, and Bandai would not want to do that. So they want to make sure that the full mechanics is going to sell enough. So I mean, look at the Barbatos, for example. How long was the time after the full mechanics Barbatos came out before we got the master grade Barbatos? And that's probably a good indicator as to what we'll likely see with the aerial as well. All right. Actually, the next step, if we're following the manual, would be the beam smart gun, but I'm skipping over that because I have all the parts out here for the beam guns on the kind of side skirts, not actually side skirt, but the side skirt area. Oops. A15. So I'm just gonna put these together here first. And then we'll put together the beam smart gun last. Ooh, come on. Get in there. There we go. Do I have that in there the right way? I do. Okay. Just checking. That's like that. It's like that. Oh, wait a minute. All right. How long do you think we'll need to wait to get more Code Geass kits like the Lancelot Albion? Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that. No idea. That kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Harder to judge because that's just kind of random, basically, from Bandai. That and here. Oof, there we go. Okay. That's one. Is Riser worth to get one? Revan asked. The Riser? I mean, depends on which version you're talking about, I guess. The RG is nice. The MG is nice. The HG is also nice, really. So, I mean, yeah, I guess whichever version you want to get, you can't really go too wrong. Between them, which one is probably the best? I mean, the PG I don't have any experience with, so I couldn't tell you on that. But I don't know. The RG is really nice for the Double O Riser. Do you think we will get a P Bandai MG Zeta Plus ver.Ka? Oh yeah, somebody asked about that earlier. Yeah, I think it's very likely that we will. Don't know if it'll be right away. Probably not. I mean, you can always assume that we'll get some kind of variant from any master grade kit, or from, I mean, any kit if it's like one that has, you know, some variants, and a lot of mobile suits do. But yeah, I would say it's certainly possible that cool, that we'll get a MG Zeta Plus based off of the ver.Ka. What might end up happening with that is that it'll be like an Expo exclusive or like a Gundam base exclusive rather than a P Bandai kit. It's very possible that it'll go that route. I don't know, but there's the main body all done. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's got kind of the same thing going on like with the 1.0 head, that the neck is kind of like doing one of these. It's kind of like too short and doesn't allow for any downward movement. So that would be the, I mean, like if I was going to go about like really building this out and doing any kind of customization or anything like that, fixing anything on the kit, that would probably be the first thing I would fix, is the neck. But let's go ahead, build our smart gun, and then we'll be all done. Got a few other little bits here. I was saying earlier that one of the things that tends to be one of the more detrimental aspects of these older MGs is usually the hips. And one thing that kind of goes along with that is the lack of an ability to put them on an action base comfortably. As in, they're not made as newer MGs now are made. They always come with like an action base adapter piece, whatever, that you can pop it onto an action base very simply and easily. The older ones don't have that. Just because that was before the time of action bases. So you end up having to use the fork adapter, as I call it, from the action base, the one that just kind of fits up around the hips, and that limits your hip articulation even more using that. So it's not fun. So you got that there. Okay. Then like this. The connection part here for the beam smart gun reminds me a lot of the wound warts. Reminds me a lot of like the connecting arm for the wound warts shield part. You know what I mean? Kind of building this section of it. There's that part. Then we're suddenly gonna skip to the radome. Jumping around a bit. So there's that. Then jump over here to building this part and put that on there. Oh, here's where we got some more stickers here for this. This model kit, a hellish one for me, Serdo said. Why? Just gonna eyeball where these stickers go on here. They're specific, but basically there's 4 different ones, and I would guess that they are slightly different in size, but it looks like there's basically just 2 big ones and 2 small ones. So I can kind of see. I mean, they look basically the same size. I'm sure if you were to measure it, I think they probably are the right size, I guess. Are the same size. I mean, the two small ones are the same size and the two big ones are the same size. Whoop. Get in there. There we go. And yes. Whoa. I'm kind of ripped a bit coming out. Okay. These guys, so while we're doing stickers, I'm just gonna go ahead and put these other two on here. Like that. And this one. That there. That there. Extra V-fin. Okay. I never finished my RG Freedom. The wings are very finicky. I never finished my work in progress on the RG Freedom. That was another one that I started doing a work in progress on, the RG Freedom. I think I built that. I don't know if I ever did a review of the RG Freedom Gundam. Did I? I don't recall. Whether I did a review or not, I did start working on making a custom one. And custom only in that it was, what I was doing with it was removing the detail. So RG kits, you know, as you guys know, are whoa, super detailed. Like they have all the different parts. But I thought it would be kind of cool to see what the kit would look like if it had all the part separation, but not all the detail. So like leave it as like it's got all these sections of armor, but then make it look like sort of like an HD, how you just got these sections of armor that just don't have any like surface detail on them. I thought would be kind of cool looking, unique anyway. So started working on that and never finished. That got a little bit in the weeds, that one, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I never ended up finishing that. But I still have it and would like to go back and finish that at some point. So we're getting close to the end here, and yeah, there's a good about half or almost half, probably less than half. We probably used more than half, but there's a good amount of those polycaps that are just going to be left over. So this is folded down. And then what? Just goes in here like that. And the handle goes here. And this part goes here. Oof. Would not be looking forward to these seam lines on this gun, because you just got a lot of seam lines on this thing. All right. These bits go on here. All right, the new ver.Ka Zeta transformation looks so cool. Yeah, here's one question for you guys. I have not seen anything about this, but maybe I missed it. But does the new Zeta ver.Ka include? Does the new Zeta ver.Ka include the beam launcher? I have not seen anything indicating that it does, which is quite disappointing if it doesn't. But yeah, as far as I've seen, it doesn't look like it. It's a shame. Let's see. In here. It does not. Ted says, yeah, as far as I've seen, it doesn't. Nor the old launch base. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I'm less worried about that. I mean, that was a nice aspect of the 2.0, I guess, but it's not like, I don't know, the meme launcher seems like more of an quite iconic Zeta weapon. Like the launch base was just kind of like an extra nice kind of bonus to have included with that MG, but not something that I would think, at least in my opinion, would be like a required aspect of the kit as much as the team launcher would be. Yeah. So that's a bit of a letdown. All right, and this guy go up in here like that. Like that. This is gonna go right down here. This one right there, and this one. Here. And we're done. There we go. That's it. That's like that. There we go. Really cool. Love that weapon. Not going to do the transformation at the moment, but I'm interested just to kind of see how this fits on the arm. So this just basically just slots into the back of the arm. Easy enough, like that. It actually slots in this way, and then can turn. Eh? What? That doesn't seem right. So this goes in like this. That polycap is there. It's supposed to fit into the polycap, right? I would guess. There we go. So this goes into there and slots down, and then it shows like the whole thing. Oh yeah, it does rotate. Yeah, okay, because that's just on a peg. Okay, right, sure. Got it. And it doesn't actually hold on to the handle with that hand. It's just on the back of the arm. Like that, right. Okay, cool. The Zeta's Hyper Mega Launcher was just like a gigantic beam rifle. Yeah, I mean, it should, I don't know, anyway, should be included, I would think. Mega Launcher fit on the Wave Rider. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, guys, for the Zeta Plus C1. I'll work on the review for this guy. Have that out for y'all soon. It won't be this week. It'll probably be the beginning of next week. The rest of, the rest of the reviews for this week are kind of already squared away. Other videos, but I will have another live stream on Friday. Yeah, so like I said, I've got a couple of kits to put together. We're gonna do a double build for the live stream on Friday. So tune in then for that. That'll be Friday afternoon. Friday morning, Adam and I will be live on the USA Gundam TV channel. So check that out too. Make sure that you look out tomorrow, Thursday. We'll do the post, one day before, as a reminder for that. And also, you guys can leave your question on that post to be entered in the giveaway. But you need to review Zeta Plus A1. No, I'm not going to review the Zeta Plus A1 at this time. No. Anyway, make sure that you guys comment so you're entered in the giveaway for the USA Gundam TV live stream. I'm not sure what the giveaway prize is going to be yet for that, but I'll know and let you guys know tomorrow. Comment on that, then watch the live stream Friday morning with Adam and I over on the USA Gundam TV YouTube channel. Then in the afternoon, I'll be here building a couple of kits live in the afternoon. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you all very soon. The review coming up this evening for you guys is going to be of the Moderoid Iron Saga Deer Stalker RXR. So look forward to that video later on this evening. For now, have a good day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.